How's it going, everyone? ScaredieCat Vasquez back at it with another video for you guys. I am here with the most awesomest person ever, Mr. Deathbreath himself. Look at this guy. He's not in his Jason gear, which thank God, because it is hot. How are you feeling today, man?
First off, let me say thank you for having me.
No problem, dude.
Sorry we couldn't do this sooner.
No,
Glad we're
cool,
here.
Man.
Thank you. It's an honor. I really appreciate it.
It is.
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
I'm dying a little bit, but that's okay.
You brought me pineapples, dude.
I know, right? I'm rocking this because how hot it is, dude. Yeah. So okay, let's just jump right into it. How long have you been doing the channel for, dude?
Probably about 6 months, man. 6 or 7 months.
Nice.
If you watch my older videos, they really suck. Like the first one is the worst. Because you can tell I was reading from a script.
Okay.
But it's evolved and gotten a lot better.
Now, what I like about like where your channel's progressing in is you actually do show yourself. You add a face to the name, and it makes it more personal. It makes it more willing to watch. And now that you're getting a little goofy with it too, I feel like that's what's really gonna like help you out too. Because like who doesn't like to laugh and stuff like that, you know? So I've noticed you do like you're like, progressing a lot more better. You know what I mean? But your first videos, I didn't mind them too much. You know, especially the one that you did for A Quiet Place.
Oh, thank you.
That one was like one of my favorites right there. Because that night. That day I saw it, I had just seen it the day before. And I was like, dude, this guy like hit the nail right on the head. That movie was so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was crazy. So, like, let me tell you this. Going to the movies all the time and everything like that, do you get tired of it? Do you get tired of, like, just sitting there and like, obviously you got AC and all that stuff. Do you get tired of spending all that, like, crazy movie price stuff, you know?
Okay, this is not an endorsement.
Okay.
But I use Movie Pass. Again, that is not an endorsement.
Okay.
Unless they want to give me a free Movie Pass. If you're watching this, hook it up. Give me a year's worth. We'll be cool. But I use Movie Pass, and it's awesome because, again, not an endorsement. You spend $10 a month, and you can watch one movie every day.
Okay.
So, and then as for seeing movies, I love movies. I mean, I grew up watching Terminator 2 and Predator and Terminator and Night of the Living Dead and Halloween on repeat. That was my bread and butter when I was like 10 all the way until now. You know what I mean?
You were 10?
Yeah, like I was into that. Like, I mean, Terminator 2 on repeat, dude. I watch it endlessly. And, you know, that's like a 2.5-hour movie. You know what I mean? So I don't get tired of movies. And it's fun because I like complaining about movies I don't like.
Okay.
Like, if you watch Jurassic World, I almost thought about not posting it, but this guy, DK Fan Films, shout out to him, awesome guy, he told me to post it. And I'm like, well, I don't know if it counts because I walked out of the film. But he said that's a good reason. So I like complaining and I like praising movies. I mean, it's like one of the ultimate arts, you know?
I was shocked about that review because I haven't seen the new Jurassic World, but I love Jurassic Park.
Dude, I loved
dinosaurs,
the first one.
You know?
The first one was awesome. I mean, like the first new one.
Yeah, okay. With Chris Pratt and everything.
Yeah, it was
like that?
great. Dude.
Yeah.
It was SeaWorld, but with dinosaurs.
I know, right? It was just... It was fucking awesome, and like all like the new CGI shit that they're doing to make it look more realistic.
That freaking thing jumping out of the ocean.
Exactly, that's the one scene that gets me. You know what I mean? Anytime I'm like even near water, that's what I think about.
I don't go in the water. I'm afraid of sharks.
I feel you, dude. Fuck them. Oh man. Okay, so like you do like movies and stuff. You saw Night of the Living Dead at 10 years old. That's what trips me out because I've seen scary movies when I was young, but I didn't choose to. I was
introduced.
Okay.
It was like my starter film.
Okay, nice.
I got to meet Barbara, by the way. She's the sweetest old lady you've ever met.
I bet, yeah. After like, you know, being like around a bunch of zombies for a whole like however long it took them to film that and whatever else she did. I know, right?
Yeah.
Whatever else she did for her career, you know, you kind of like become a little bit more friendly and shit like that.
Yeah.
But that's crazy though. So what's like by far like your favorite besides Night of the Living Dead, which was obviously your first? And we all remember our first. What's like your favorite like classic horror movie that's just like your go-to one?
Okay, so this is like a gut punch to myself.
Oh, okay.
Okay, have you heard of Screamfest?
Yes.
Okay, well, for those that don't know, Screamfest, what they do is they do like a horror movie festival. And a lot of movies have been discovered, like Paranormal Activity and a few others that I can't remember. However, they also do these screenings. And the screenings they'll do a screening of like Freddy vs. Jason, 15th anniversary. They recently did one of my favorite horror movie that I can watch over and over again, Tales from the Crypt Demon Night.
Oh my God.
They had John Kassir there, and I'm just like, I didn't have the money, I couldn't drive out there, I didn't get the tickets in time, and they did it last Sunday, and I'm just like, dude, I could have seen it on the big screen. I couldn't even see it when I was little. So that is like that movie that is just so good. Like Billy Zane is just so awesome as the devil. He's so like ridiculous and awesome, and then it's just like, gosh, man, it was just such a damn good movie. It
is. I noticed as you got more hype, like the wind started getting more hype too.
It's playing
so
off my emotions.
You pretty much are really Jason, because they say like Jason is a force of nature. When he arrives, the storm happens and like, you know, shit like. So look at you, man. You need to calm down, or else a tornado's gonna fucking hit us, man.
Speaking of which, I'm calming down. So's the wind.
I know, right? Look at this, guys. So I'm talking to the real father nature right here. Look at this guy. Like, you're pretty, like, okay, I'm not like checking you out or anything like that, but I've noticed from talking to you over the time, you're pretty like into fitness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's talk about that. What's like your daily routine of fitness?
All right, so let me give you some backstory. So
Okay.
I've suffered from some crazy like thing called cluster headaches. Where prior to my cluster headaches, I was pretty lean. I was working out, and then I got sick, and basically it's like the worst pain imaginable. Imagine being stabbed in the head for months on end. You can't do anything. You can't work. It's debilitating. That's what I was going through. And I've always worked out. I've actually worked out for the last 5 years. But during that cluster headache period, I'd go in cycles. I'd stop for 6 months, pick up again. You know, so I was able to get into intermittent fasting. So let me tell you a little about intermittent fasting. Okay, I'm gonna skip through it quickly because I don't want to bore anybody. But basically, what it is your body. They tell you to always eat, but what you're always eating, you're always putting things in, never losing anything out.
Okay.
So essentially, what it's doing is the reason, like heart disease is the #1 killer. Why? Because we're constantly consuming food. We constantly have diabetes. We have heart disease. It's like we're never depleting the cholesterol. And what fasting does, it goes back to our hunter-gatherer era. Okay, this is information I've learned. I'm not an expert, okay? Make that clear. But it works. Proof in the pudding. Okay, so basically what you do is you don't eat, you stop eating at a certain point. It's like time restricted. So you stop eating for about 16 hours.
Okay.
And what that does is after you hit that 12 to 16 hour period, your body just starts burning fat. So that's been a big thing I've been doing. And that's what allowed me to lose about 87 pounds. And so that's been a real big key factor in my success. I'll send you a link to the video. Dr. Michael Vann, intermittent fasting, look it up. It's great. I mean, it's life-changing. It isn't starvation. I'm eating plenty. You're not starving. You don't starve until you hit 72 hours.
Okay.
So what it does is it gives you mental clarity. You know George St. Pierre, right? The
No.
UFC fighter?
No.
Okay, well, basically, he's one of the most dominant champions in the UFC. He does fasting as well.
Really?
And he talked about how he got his blood work done, his muscle mass maintained the same, except he lost body fat. So yeah, and then also, as for my routine, sorry, that was a slight tangent.
That's good.
Okay, so I do a lot of core workouts, or a lot of compound exercises. I focus on doing pull-ups. I do bench press. I do dumbbell bench press. I do body weight dips. And that's really it, man. And then I do a high-intensity cardio about 3 days a week.
Nice.
So I mean, I've gone as far as I've done dips. I've done dips with 70. Or I've done dips with 90 pounds. So am I still in frame? Maybe not.
Probably not. No.
Okay. But basically, it's like you stand up, and I have a weight on my hip, and I have 2 45-pound plates, and I'm pushing my body weight with that. So that's about close to about 80 pounds.
Damn.
And in addition, I'm doing pull-ups, and when I'm doing pull-ups, I have a 45 and a 35, which I think it's about 75 pounds. And I'm doing pull-ups and chin-ups. So it's my body weight plus that weight hanging off my hip. So all that's really been it, man. And then I do a core exercise once a week, and it's just really consistency, dude. Like, and I watch what I eat. I weigh everything. I make sure I'm getting the right amount of protein. Chicken breast is like my holy Bible. It's everything I eat.
There we go.
So yeah.
What, just plain like grilled chicken, no like seasoning?
Oh no, I season it.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'll go and marinate in teriyaki, get it caramelized, but you know what I mean? A little bit of sugar meat versus the protein. Like you can eat 300 calories worth of chicken breast and you'll have 75 grams of protein.
Okay.
So it's
nice.
There's not a lot of a price to pay. It's not like you're paying $600 600 calories to get a little bit of protein. You get a lot, you know? So yeah.
Hey, that's really good right there.
I knew that was all over the place, man, but
no, it's
I had to
cool,
lay the
it's
backstory
cool, you know,
first.
it doesn't have to just be strictly haunt talk. You know, we're just here to talk. You know what I mean?
For sure, brother.
So we're just having a good time. Let's get back onto the haunt talk though.
Yeah.
Okay. You were on my Instagram live last night, and you were talking about how when you go through a maze, you like to just sprint through there.
Yeah.
Has there ever been one maze where it was just like, you know what, I'm really enjoying this. I kind of want to take my time now, or you just automatically once you go in, you're just already at the exit waiting for your lady or some shit like that?
Okay, so I was gonna tell you this last night, but I figured it'd be fun to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I love the Saw series.
Okay.
Like I love it for all the good points, all the bad points, all the convoluted storylines. Minus the last one, Jigsaw was absolute crap. I hated that movie. I think that was one of the worst movies of last year for me. Actually, that's how much I hated it. Yeah, because it was just another prequel that literally was a prequel, mixed with story. So I go in to that maze. I think it's 2010, 2011, Halloween Horror Nights. And I'm like, all right, this is going to be awesome, man. I'm going to walk through this thing. I'm going to check out the set. They have the set where it looks like the bathroom, and I heard it smells like urine. And I'm like, that's gross, but that's cool because it works.
Yeah.
And I'm walking through, and I'm like, this is cool. And then some guy goes, "Whoa!" And I'm like, oh! And I just start getting the hell out of there. So I was trying to chill out. I was trying to enjoy it. But some jackass in a pig mask comes and scares the crap out of me. And suddenly I'm just like, look down, look down, look down, look down. Don't look. Oh, I see him. I see him. Acknowledge him. Keep moving. Just keep moving. Get the hell out of there, dude. I was out of there in less than a minute. I was getting hit left and right. But I just it's like getting punched. You just take it and keep moving. Deflect.
Yeah.
So I can't enjoy them because I'm a wuss when it comes to that.
I feel you, dude. No,
I'll go, but screw that, man. I'm moving.
I left my girlfriend in a maze one time. It was a Tooth Fairy at Not Scary Farm. There's a part where the walls close in.
Oh, jeez.
And I told, I'm really claustrophobic, but So it's like I told her like, look, I don't want to be in here. The walls are getting too tight, and then she just stops because she does that. Like if I say like, oh, I don't want to do something, she'll do it, or it's like like she always likes to mess with me. So she stopped, and I just let go of her hand, and I just kept on walking. I started yelling. I was like, you think I'm playing, but I'm not. Like I'm gonna walk out of here. It's cool, you can stay. And then she was like, when she caught up with me, she's like, can't believe you left me. And I was like, I can't believe you stood still. Like, it's fun.
But you get where I'm coming from.
I get where you're coming from, but it's like, I can't sprint through because my biggest fear is like, when I get scared, my head like starts turning everywhere and I get like a little dizzy. I get like a little adrenaline rush and a little high off of it. And it's like, so I'm scared if I'm going to be running, I'm going to hit something and like just knock out cold, So that's why I can't imagine running through there. But it is nice to look through at the sets and all that stuff, to see how hard they make everything so realistic, especially in like Not Scary Farm.
Yeah.
So it's like, I've never been to Universal, so I can't say
they're
for
awesome,
sure.
dude.
Really?
Yeah.
We're going this year, me and my lady and her siblings. So I'm hoping that like it's gonna be a really good experience,
Do you remember in Nightmare on Elm Street when they had Nancy's friend in a body bag, Tina?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm walking through the maze, and that's the part that gets me the most, the body bag girl.
Uh-huh.
And I make eye contact with her, and my skin just turns to ice. And I'm just
God.
like, oh, and you can see like the blood splatter in the bag. And I'm like walking, and I notice they make eye contact with me, and I'm like, oh crap. And I'm like at this, and I'm like, damn, it keeps following me. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm trying to avoid eye contact, dude. That was one of the worst experiences. It's like every nightmare chasing me at once.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, can I do a quick intercut real quick?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, back to the fasting. I just want to say this. I did a body scan. My cholesterol, I have inherently high cholesterol from my mother, my birth mom. My cholesterol was down, my body fat was down, my muscle mass was up. And that's after a year.
Okay.
So yeah, just want to put that out. But anyway, I wanted to give that extra information because that's important to know. So it's not just nonsense. Anyway, back to the hunt.
Yeah, there we go.
Think about things too late, man.
It's all cool, dude. It's all cool. We're just going to keep making this a random experience. I think it's a lot more better for the listeners too. So that way.
What's going on?
Exactly. You know what I mean?
This guy's not faking it when he's going, look good. He's like, he's really weird. Yeah, I'm really weird. Sorry, guys. I only pretend to be normal when I'm in a costume.
There we go. That's like it was weird to like get a message from you after I posted up the Spook Show videos. Because I was like, the guy, because you didn't talk at all. I believe your wife, right?
Yeah.
Your wife was doing most of the talking, like, for both of you guys. And I was just like, maybe this guy just doesn't talk at all, And maybe he's just like one of those people who just doesn't, he only talks to her, obviously, because they're married, and that's it, So when I started watching your videos, I was just like, this is not the same motherfucker that I met. Like, this guy talks way too much. But in a good way.
No, it's good. I talk way too much. I talk way too damn fast.
It's all cool, dude. But, like, okay. So now that we're on the topic of your wife, I'm gonna ask you like one thing. What does she think about your channel? Like, is she like a big fan, or is she like kind of like a critic or something like that? Like how would you say it?
She's terrible. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
No, she's my biggest supporter, man. She
that's awesome.
helps me perfect it. Like, she'll be like, hey, you have like this weird squeaking sound in your video, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, dang it, she's right. So I have to go do the whole damn video again. Last night, dark web video, I had to redo it because I had a fan just deet, 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 deet. It was like so high pitched, and I was pissed because I had to go and do it after spending 20 minutes doing it, but I did it in 2 minutes.
Damn,
so
good.
She helps me, she motivates me, I run all my ideas by her.
Okay.
So she's really been, if anything, like, I may have the passion and the creativity to do it, and by the grace of God, the talent to do it, but she's definitely my flame that keeps me burning.
That is
like,
beautiful.
Like, she's like, I guess, no, more specifically, I'm like the fire, but she's like the coal being heaped in. So when I'm feeling not motivated, she'll be like, come on, go do the video, take a second, and I'm back in business.
That is awesome right there.
So she's been awesome.
That's fucking beautiful, dude.
So I want to try something that probably hasn't happened before.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna take this.
Oh shit.
Mr. Deathbreath is taking over this podcast.
Oh,
okay, so this is Mr. Deathbreath here taking over. So you've interviewed several people.
This is rape.
Verbal rape.
Verbal.
Sucker, no. Anyway, no, kidding. Rape's not funny. Okay, seriously. So you've interviewed several people. So let me ask you a couple questions.
Okay, definitely.
So how long have you been doing this?
How long have I? Almost a year now. Like last time I checked, it's been like 9-10 months since my very first video, which was a very first video technically being posted up, was a little like short video I did of like showing off these like trunks that my lady bought me, and I was like, you got to keep it when your girl buys you sick ass shorts. But the very first video that took me like forever to do was a gameplay actually for this video game called Don't Knock Twice. And it's still on my channel. Just keep scrolling down. You know what I mean? It's not that many views on there, which I don't blame them.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, it was really fun. I got the shit scared of me. It's a 3-parter. and like I don't do good with horror games. Like even if I play with the lights on, I'm still scared. You know what I mean? Because I feel like you're too involved into it. I'm okay with the haunt. I'm okay with virtual reality to an extent, but like video games, I don't know why. I guess it's because I have to control everything. It puts so much pressure on me. But so you kind of see that in the video and stuff like that. I like at first I'm like joking around, then like it starts to get more serious, and I'm just like, you know what? No, this is fucking scary as hell. But yeah, that's like 10 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah,
that sounds
dude.
awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you the question you asked me at Spook Show.
Okay.
So how much does Halloween horror, this whole community we have, how much does it mean to you?
That's fucking means the world to me, man. Like that's why I started this. Well, I started originally just to joke around about it. Not joke around in a bad way, but just to kind of like just cover it. Just be like, hey, yo, guys, this is Halloween Horror Nights, or this is Not Scary Farm. But then after Spook Show, I had like an eye-opening. It was like I met you, I met everyone from like, you know, Larry Bones to John. I can't pronounce his last name to save my life. But the creator of Haunters, The Art of the Scare.
Oh, yeah, that guy's awesome.
He is. He's
Such
a really
cool
nice
dude.
guy. I met, you know, Connie from Side Boat Show by Connie. I met Chris from Melodies and Macabre. Who's like any music I have on my channel now, it's all from him.
Oh, wow.
You know, and he makes really good music. But it's like everyone else I met there, they were just like such amazing people, and you can tell by the way they had their booths presented out, and how they had like just like everything, like how they would actually pull you aside and talk to you about their like history. And during the interviews I did with them, you can just tell how passionate they were. And I was like, you know what, like fuck. Like just covering things on my point of view. Let's get these people out here and let's put them in the spotlight. I don't have a large platform whatsoever. I don't claim to, but I have a platform that I'm willing to give up to someone else, you know?
Definitely.
And as long as like, we can all help each other grow, after that day I started realizing like, you know what? Let's not look at this as, oh, that's another business that's competing against me. That's a business that I can work with and we can both grow. So the whole haunt community talk that I've been doing lately and all that stuff, we need to stick together, we need to work hard. I'm like really serious about that. So that's why I do haunt talks. When I do haunt talks, I like make sure it's all about them. So it's kind of weird that you're having the mic at me,
Yeah.
but it's all cool though. Thank you for that. But it's like, that's all I want to do is just promote everyone else that I believe deserves a good platform, who deserves to have their like 15 minutes to an hour of fame. You know what I mean? Whatever I can do to help out, you know, basically. Whatever I can do to, even like if like the video doesn't get enough views, like don't, like, let's face it, we all love the fact we get to talk about what we love doing. So like if someone came up to you and started talking about YouTube, you're gonna feel good about it. Like it's like, dude, I love fucking doing YouTube. Oh my god, this and that. If someone comes up to you and it's like, oh, you make music for haunted houses, that person's gonna be talking about it for like, you know, they're gonna talk your ears off. You know what I mean? It's because that's how much passion they have, and it's kind of like a little what's the word? It's like a little like I don't want to say adrenaline rush, but it's like it's a good feeling that happens on the inside when we do talk about what really makes us passionate. So if I can like ignite that type of flame that you're talking about how your wife does for you, if I can help ignite that type of flame into some other people who are really hardworking about their company, then you know I'd sacrifice anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree with you because you know my whole perspective it isn't we're competing with each other, but you know as the horror community we're all trying to help one another.
Exactly.
And the way I see it, you know, ScaredieCat Vasquez will have, you know, hopefully thousands of views very soon. I mean that seriously. So much respect to you. I love your channel, and I'm grateful again. I know I said it again, but I'm grateful to be here. And
You're here too,
and I completely agree. So my final question for you.
Okay.
What is your favorite horror movie, and when did you? No. My favorite question is, what is the first horror movie you've ever seen?
Okay, so like as I was saying earlier, you were introduced to it. I was just forced to kind of watch it. Well, I wouldn't say forced because I fell asleep. So my grandparents took the opportunity. All right, he's asleep. I was like 6 or 7, and I knocked out on their couch, and I fucking fell asleep, and I wake up to the sounds of chainsaws.
Oh my gosh.
And you can kind of already get where this is going. This is the first original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it's the part where I finally wake up and I kind of pick my head up a little bit, and they don't notice I'm awake. It's the part where that one girl and the guy in the wheelchair are running through the cornfield, and then like they shine the flashlight, the camera gets into that angle where the light's flashing, and Leatherface just pops out and just starts going at it with that guy in the fucking wheelchair. That's the scene that got me into. I was scared. I freaked out. My grandparents noticed that finally after I was like, ah, you know what I mean? And so they turned it off. But then after that, I started like thinking, I was just like, why was that man wearing a mask and why do you have a chainsaw? So I started thinking, like, what's up with these scary monsters? You know what I mean? Like, and I got into, and like, I think my brother showed me like Freddy Krueger after that. And so like Nightmare on Elm Street, I was like, a guy that goes into your dreams and like has like a little claw. I was a big Wolverine fan.
Yeah, I mean,
so like when I saw like the hand for claws, I was like, oh, that's just like Wolverine. That's pretty cool. And like, so I was like, oh, dude, that's fucking dope. And I remember I got like the DVD for Christmas. It was like back when like DVDs were first coming out and shit like that. So it was like a real honor to get that when I was like, I think I was like 8 or 9. So it's like, yeah, and that's just, it just progressed every now and then. But I always got the same question, was like, why do you keep watching it if you're scared? And I was like, I like the feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I liked it. When I was that little kid and I got scared, I did freak out, but at the end of the day, I always thought like that was pretty funny. Like, you know, like I got scared that much. You know,
You have some cool grandparents though.
I know, right?
I don't have
like,
grandparents that watch horror movies.
My grandparents, they were religious, like, you know, Catholic and stuff like that. But my grandma was a big Stephen King's fan.
Dang.
Like when she passed back in 2005, R.I.P. You know what I mean? We were going through her stuff, and we have like still some of like the old books of Stephen King collections that she had. You know what I mean? She was a big Stephen King's fan. So that, and then like I don't know how Texas Chainsaw got in the mix of that, but they just decided to watch it that day. And I'm really glad that they did. You know
woke
what I
up
mean?
to one of the iconic like moments.
Exactly.
Too. Like you can like, someone should do it. I'm sure someone will watch this. Make a painting of it. I'll buy it at Spook Show. Just keep it under 20.
There we go.
Or keep it at 20.
There we go.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Now
you.
back to the regularly.
Give me
programmed.
my mic back. God damn it! Not just kidding.
That was fun though.
I
right?
was.
You get
It was.
this
It was.
going, man.
It was different. You know
And
what I
it was
mean?
cool to get questions from you because it's cool to see the person always asking the questions knowing what they're about. And
Exactly.
I know what you're about, but now I really know, especially knowing that memory, which is like kind of terrifying to wake up to the flashlight.
It was pretty fucking terrifying.
Dude, and bringing it back to what you were saying, like, so when I'm running through mazes, I like it, but I'm scared.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're gonna laugh at me so hard. Me and my wife went to the, you've been to Universal Studios, right?
Just like the normal.
Yeah. Well, you know they have that Walking Dead thing?
I've never been to The Walking Dead, but I was there when they had House of Horror.
Okay, it's the same thing, but they added Walking Dead twist to it.
Okay, cool.
So I went through it, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty chill. We're seeing like zombified heads, and you see like those quarantine signs with the lights, dead. Don't go inside, dead inside. You see like the animatronic zombies pushing through the back.
Okay.
And it's getting cool, but then it starts getting claustrophobic. We're going through these aisles. And then stuff starts popping out, and I'm just at the point, dude, that I'm like freaking hyperventilating.
Oh,
and I'm just like, oh, and I'm getting out of there, and I come out, and I'm like, and my wife is like, I feel like I couldn't take it. I'm like, I know, because you're in this tiny space, like between these cars. And it's like, dude, it was fun, but it's like that anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Like it gets me going. Like,
good.
but to the point that like almost like I don't want to do it.
Uh-huh.
But when I'm in it, it's fun. You know?
Hey, that's good though, man. Shoot. All right, so let's get back onto your channel talk right now. Okay,
Yeah.
so you ever gotten like any like negative comments about like a movie review you did? Like where you're like, oh, this is cool, and then obviously some like douchebag has to be like, I thought it sucked, or I mean like, oh, this sucked, and someone's like, I thought it was cool. You have like no taste. You know what I mean? Do you ever get like shit like that, or,
You know
or
what?
like no?
I think I want to say everyone's been really respectful.
Okay.
I've gotten some comments like, well, I completely disagree. Or I've had some people tell me that I know, because some people I know, or some people message me where I think you're completely off.
Yeah.
Or like some people even ask me, I don't understand how you didn't like it. How could it have been better? And my response to that typically is, well, I'm not the one that makes the movies. They should make it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know.
'Cause I mean, you know, so I mean, I haven't really got any negative comments.
Mhm.
For the most part, I think people are. I don't know, man. It's really not been negative.
That's
Like
good.
some people just don't agree with me, and I can understand that because I mean,
Okay.
you know, I have one opinion, and they don't have to agree. And you know, then again, you know, I've gotten criticism that maybe I'm too short-sighted. But at the same time, if I'm a critic, I can't be wishy-washy. How are you going to trust my opinion if
Yeah.
I'm not sure? If I want to please the masses, I can't be a critic.
Okay.
I have to give a solid opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like I only would trust myself. Like, you know, you can't say you like haunt talks, but you're afraid of haunts, and you don't like
Yeah.
going to haunts, because then how do I know if you really like haunts? You know what I mean?
That's true,
You
yeah.
can't be hot or cold, either one way or the other. So I give my opinion, I give it straight, and I mean, if people like it, they'll like it, and I think if anything, at least they'll be entertained.
Yeah.
So, you know, everyone's been respectful, and it's just, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool, man. After like all these like months and like all these videos of doing like movie reviews, and you kind of have like your own personal say in the movie industry, would you ever see yourself ever like directing a movie or like creating, like being a screenwriter or something like that? Would you take your own perspectives and stuff like that into making something that like that you think would be what the viewers would want to see? You know what I mean? Like all like the like-minded people that follow you and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's an interesting question. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think about like some things like, did you see Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Yes.
Okay, so my biggest issue with that movie was Walton Goggins.
Okay.
Walton Goggins from Justified. He played the tranny in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
You remember him? I think her name was like Destiny or something.
I fucking love that scene. If I could just cut it real quick. I love that scene where like that they have that teenage boy go into that little office space that they're at, and then like he comes out and he's like, "Boy, didn't your mama teach you not to judge a book by its penis?" That shit. That was my ringtone for a good while after watching that episode.
Walton Goggins is awesome.
He's fucking awesome, man.
But you know, like,
Okay.
I think one thing I would take if I were writing or directing is I wouldn't put lazy characters. Like, I feel like if you watch Ant-Man and the Wasp, major spoilers, sorry, you can watch it. It's been out for like 3 weeks now, so I think it's fair. It's like they show you in the trailer what's going on, right? But that's all they show you, and it's almost like you think, well, is there more than meets the eye? Kind of like in the vein of Infinity War.
Okay.
But it turns out that it wasn't, and that's what bothered me. It's like you literally saw what was there. And Walton Goggins was literally like that character in one of those like Catch That Dog movies or Catch That Bird movies where he's trying to get that weapon, so he's chasing them out. And it was just like so lazy. Like I wouldn't want to put lazy writing in or obvious characters. You know what I mean? Like a good example, if you watch The Dark Web, you know the way they set it up is they're playing Cards Against Humanity on Skype. So you get to see how every character is well fleshed out and how they're in the situation, how they act, and it doesn't seem lazy. It seems sincere. But with Walton Goggins, he was just like typical villain A trying to get item C to get to point D so he can get to point Z. You know what I mean? To make money. It was weak. So I guess if I were to direct and write a story, I'd want to have concrete characters with everything having a purpose. Like everything should have a purpose. Like case in point, Clifton Collins Jr. You know what I'm talking about? You see him in a movie, he steals the movie. Gary Oldman, he's prior to The Dark Knight, I mean, he's been around, but he's always been a character that just stood out. You know what I mean? Or like Rotimi Paul, if you saw The New Purge, he plays Skeletor. He's in there very briefly, and he plays this like crackhead, with like scars on his face, and he steals the movie. Like everything has a purpose.
Okay.
And I guess that's what I don't like about some movies, that they don't have a purpose, and I feel like they get lazy. And I feel like if I were ever in that opportunity, I wouldn't have lazy characters. I wouldn't have plot filler points just for the sake of plot filler. Like everything would have to have a point or wouldn't be there.
Okay, I get you. So just a movie with purpose.
Yeah, because I think those are the best movies.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Okay, so what was the other? Oh, okay, let's get back into haunts now. What's been going around lately, I'm pretty sure you know this too, extreme haunts. They've been kind of blowing up the market.
Yeah.
Have you ever done, or if not, would you ever do an extreme haunt?
I don't know. I mean, some of them kind of interest me.
Uh-huh.
Like some of it just sounds kind of weird, man. Like, and this isn't a knock to anybody who ever watches this. I'm just giving a perspective from what I've heard. So if you happen to be watching this and you're part of that haunt or you make that haunt, it's not an insult. I'm just giving what I'm getting, okay? So I'm taking it that way. Like Blackout, for instance.
Okay.
I heard that like some dude will run at you naked.
Yes.
I'm like, that's kind of awkward. Like, I think I'd just punch him. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
Because I wouldn't want some dude running at me naked. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. Like, or like I would want to check out the 17th Door, but I know that's not really like an extreme haunt. It's more of like a staged haunt, right?
I consider it extreme because, well, at least last year and the times I've been there, they've been pretty rough. Not like rough where like you're gonna leave there like bruised up, but like I felt like it was pretty. How do I put this? It met its name. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's called an extreme haunt, therefore they brought extreme. So I don't know if that's just me just being like a chicken and I can't handle too much, or I don't know, but I feel like it's the beginning point. I always recommend it for people who want to do Blackout or who want to do like Victim Experience or Gates of Hell by Freakling Brothers. I tell them go to 17th Door first so you can kind of get a taste of it. That's like the stepping stone. That's the
I'd like to check that out. I mean, I guess I don't know about the extreme haunts. I don't really have much of an opinion, I guess. I just know that there's an interest to it, but I'd like to check it out, like, I don't know, with like a camera and a light and maybe see if I can mentally handle it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just seems almost like...
Or you know what they do actually at the 17th Door? I did this with one of my friends. I took him for his first time, and I was like really like nervous for him because I don't know how he's gonna take it because he used to be in the army. I don't know if it was gonna like kind of like mess him up or any way, you know what I mean? So I was like, I'm gonna get him the Mercy necklace, and it's just like an extra like $5-10. You get a glow in the dark like necklace, and they can't touch you, but you get to experience all the haunt though. They just kind of make fun of you for it, but it's like little light jokes, you know what I mean? Like, I think only one person called him a pussy. Everything else was just all like, oh, you're going to get messed with. Like, oh, this guy's chicken. And one guy just slipped up and was like, you pussy. And it was the
ultimate insult.
I know, right?
It's like get verbally kicked in the balls.
Exactly, dude. So, like like that's like always one good thing. I think that like like not most, but like an extreme hunt like that makes them a perfect stepping stone because they have that.
You know what,
You
dude?
know?
I'm gonna check it out because I'll
really
get the pussy
recommend it.
necklace and just, I mean, I'm sorry, mercy necklace.
There we go.
I'm not sorry, I meant that. But I'll totally get that and try that because I guess I want to know what I'm experiencing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then maybe, like you're saying, it's a stepping stone, and it sounds like they make it accommodating.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I can try blackout, although I still don't want someone naked running at me.
See, with blackout, you got to be okay with nudity because I've seen a lot of reviews. I've seen the documentary
I
about
don't want to
it.
see man dong, man.
It's like honestly, you seen one, you seen them all. Like you know,
Yeah, but just
it's
I don't know, man.
it's whatever's now. Like
Whatever.
You know, it's like yeah, we don't want to see it, but it's like if it happens, it's not gonna ruin my day. You know.
It's like, ah! You're just standing in the dark, a dong approaches your face. What the?
What the hell?
Well, I'm scared of the dark too. Like, okay, that's
Yeah.
that's such a reveal. I am scared of the dark, like insanely. Like I have to
Really?
sleep with the nightlight on. Yeah,
Aw.
because we were talking about ghosts yesterday.
That's right.
Dude.
Okay, yeah.
My brain, bro, would just go, dude. I will make shapes that do not exist in the dark, and I will see things I can't explain, and I would be praying to God and covering my head like I was 12 years old again with a breathing hole just like this, so I don't die. Because if I can't see it, it won't kill me. That's my philosophy.
Basically, yeah. No, like my friend, she told me that her grandma does this. That like if she feels that there's a spirit in the house, she starts yelling at it like it's a dog, like get out of here. So I started doing the same thing, and I felt like it works, cause like okay, one time, I think I told the story before on my live, and I was in the kitchen, I put a cup away, and I go back in the living room and I sit down. As soon as I sit down, I hear glass shatter.
What the?
There's another cup, a glass cup, shattered in the center of the sink. I don't know where that cup, last time I saw that cup, it was in the cabinets. I don't know where the fuck, how it got from there to the sink and it shattered. There's no one else home. And so I was just freaking the fuck out.
Jeez.
So I started yelling at it. But then once I started yelling at it, I felt okay. Like I didn't feel like that weird presence anymore.
Like you felt empowered.
Empowered, and I just like, you know, because I think that's what it, like mostly, that's in my opinion. I don't recommend doing that shit. Because what if it like one day you yell at the wrong ghost and they like do that whole paranormal shit?
Well, let me
like,
add something in. If you
Yeah.
guys seen Insidious, remember when he yells at that lady and then he gets possessed? I'm just
Oh
saying.
shit.
Anyway, back to you.
Now I'm scared to even yell at ghosts.
Go away!
Exactly. Fucking,
That
oh,
movie's
dude.
freaking terrifying, by the way.
The one part that always gets me though is like when in the first Insidious, where they have like the baby in the room, they have the baby monitor.
Oh,
and, like,
dude.
The guy was just like, the guy just kept on like whispering like, I want it. Or like something like,
Oh.
he says something and then he finally just yells it and he like, and fucking everything just like goes quiet and the baby starts crying and shit.
Can we
like
just
that.
talk about how perfect that movie was?
That movie is fucking brilliant.
Like, they screwed the pooch in every sequel, but that was like the one that was just like amazing. dude.
Exactly.
Like, that is the movie that I can't watch it without feeling that heebie-jeebie, I'm staring over my shoulder every 5 minutes kind of movie.
Exactly.
Gosh.
Like the best jump scare ever was when they do that camera back to the lady and you just see that red devil face.
Oh my gosh.
That is the best jump scare I have ever seen
That was really
so
good.
far.
That's a jump scare done right, too, because I don't typically like jump scares, because
Yeah.
it's like, boo, just kidding, it's your buddy, Mr.
Yeah.
Deathbreath, or John, hi. It's like,
Yeah.
no, when you actually see something and it gets you, it's good, you know? But I hate those false starts, because you lose the sensation. But, dude, the hand, when they're standing there, you know what, dude? What got me was the seance, when Lynn Shay, she puts on the gas mask. Like, what the hell was that about? Like,
Oh, shit.
Leo and Al, they just managed to make this creepy atmosphere with their blue filter of light, or the green filter of light, and like as they're writing everything down, like they made a creepy, like almost like inexplicably creepy film. Just those the imagery of the way they did the gas mask, and it was just awesome, man. Like, what an awesome
Sounds
movie.
fucking awesome, dude.
Sorry, you were
It
about to say
is.
something.
No, I was gonna say that like the only movie I did not like because it was strictly, well, I liked it because it was a good movie, it was a great story, trippy like scenario to put yourself in, but I just didn't like because it was all mostly jump scares. Was The Quiet Place, and I love that movie because, like I said, it was a great story. I fucking love Jim from The Office. You know, I don't know his real name, but it's
John Krasinski.
there we go. I know it was like something like Russian or like European. like-
Krasinski.
exactly. But yeah, I love that dude, and he made a great ass movie. But the fact that it's all quiet, and then the only time like when something scary happens, it's that loud ass noise that they do
Yeah.
in every jump scare. I was sweating bullets, Melodies, like holding my hands down so I don't cover my eyes. And if she sees me with my eyes closed, she's like going like, open them.
She's awesome.
Open them.
Me and my wife just hug each other, cover each other's eyes.
That's beautiful. No, I'm glad that because she reminds me, it's like, yeah, we paid money for this. It's like
Not endorsement, movie pass.
movie
Not
pass.
endorsement.
Honestly, I'm thinking about getting that.
Do it, man.
Thinking about getting that just so that we can go to the movies a little bit more. Does it work for every movie theaters or certain ones?
I want to say about like 90% of them.
90%.
Yeah.
So if I try to go to the Harkins,
Harkins doesn't work.
no,
No, because
okay.
they're like they don't want any about it. AMC
Yeah.
was against it, but they have it. But it's cool because I mean I don't know if it's gonna last, but everyone's trying to do their own monthly pass. But no one beats what Movie Pass has because it's not an endorsement. Because they're not endorsing me, so I'm endorsing it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it every time. Because you get a movie a day, so it's pretty cool.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah, so like not Korean, Studio Movie Girl does it. Regal, Century, some AMC's do it. Like pretty much anywhere, dude.
Okay. Nice, nice.
Okay, so back to The Quiet Place. Okay, so the thing is, I don't like jump scares either.
Yeah.
But what I liked about it is that okay, because I know this movie's. I heard a lot of criticism about it. I heard one person say, which it's gonna undo the whole film in about a second. You know, they're near water and they can make all the sound they want. Why don't they live near water? It makes zero sense. Like you can be like, oh, they lost their house, they have a baby. If they live near water, it's the biggest cover.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was going ah, and you couldn't hear anything. So that's the biggest plot hole in the film that completely undoes the whole entire film. But I pretend it doesn't exist.
That's true.
Yeah, because I mean, come on, think about it. You and your lady, you have 6 babies, 10 cats, whatever. Guess what? No one's gonna hear them.
Yeah.
They're screaming and chopping wood. Just build a house there. Get a tent. Make it work. Get Minecrafty and start chopping wood with your hand and building a freaking house. Whatever, dude. Figure it
Yeah.
out. Go underground. Who cares? Figure it
What the
out.
hell, John?
You ruined it, man. Just kidding, Krasinski. You still make a good movie. And okay, addressing your whole jump scare thing, I don't like jump scares typically.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it lowers your guard and then you just don't care as much. But the thing that I liked about it is because the movie had so little sound that it worked. Like it wasn't really a jump scare per se. It was just really sound happening and then things happened. And I thought that was great. And I guess what made me really love the film, I'm picking my nose, I'm not going to deny it, was the fact that I never been in a movie theater where some dude's eating popcorn. I'm like, shut up!
I know, right?
It's like, dude, are you freaking kidding me, dude? Like, I'm like standing there like this, white knuckling, trying to be chill and kind of shaking, waiting for something, and then nothing happens. And then someone drops a cup, and I'm like, like I'm holding my breath, dude. Like that was an exhausting movie. Because like the whole time I'm listening to the stupid teenage kid, you know, moving his straw around in his cup, or like the person trying to text, and I'm just like, oh, you're gonna get us caught. That's how I felt the whole time.
I know, right?
Like it was uncomfortable, bro.
I would die in that scenario.
Oh, I'd be dead in a heartbeat. My cats would kill me.
And my little sister, because that scene where they're playing Monopoly,
Oh, dude.
I was like, we're already dead. Because when my little sister and I, when we play Monopoly, she gets really competitive. She's like throwing dice, and she's like saying, I want to buy this. And it's like, oh, God forbid, if you go to jail, she'll take like a little touchdown dance moment and like really rub it in your face of how you going to jail. So I was like, we're dead. Like that's it. It's been nice knowing y'all. But
That's my little brother. He's really competitive. He tries to buy everything, and
Yeah.
we ended up me and my sister ended up bankrupting him.
nice.
And I took a picture of him, and he just like, and I'm like, this is what shame looks like. I took all his properties, I cleaned him
man.
out. Because he was buying all the expensive crap. He'll buy everything on the board, even like the crappy properties that
Yeah.
even if they're at their highest peak, they're still only like, you know, $100.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
bankrupted him and got him with a shame face. I think I have it on Instagram. It's pretty wonderful.
There we go.
Yeah.
Look for that. I know. But yeah, so okay, so now we were talking about ghosts right now. Do you have like any ghost stories you want to share with?
I do, man. I do. And it's one of those things where, like, I can't really convince anybody, but I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, like, you know, I'm not trying to preach or anything, but I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I know that, you know, the Bible says we don't wrestle against the flesh, but the principalities and dominions of darkness. So, you know, that being said, I don't know if I really believe in ghosts per se, but more demonic forces. You know what I mean? And I think that we can call them ghosts, but I think really it's all by the power and the influence of the darker realms, you know?
Okay.
But again, I'm not trying to get preachy. I'm not here to do that.
Yeah.
So I remember one time I was in 4th grade. I was living in Studio City. I had the window slightly cracked. It was almost like a blue hue was coming through the window from the moonlight. And I noticed I had these little, like, you know, like IKEA ships. You know, like IKEA, they have like little ships that you put on the wall. The ships. And I was just staring at them. And I'll never forget it, man, because I'm sitting there and I'm terrified of the dark, and I'm just staring at these ships. And as I start staring at these ships, I start noticing that the way the light's casting from my blinds, the blinds were tilted like this, so it's casting down as a downward light. I start noticing that it starts becoming this grayish figure where the boats are. And I start noticing that the shape of the boats are kind of together on a triangle, and then another triangle. They're kind of arranged like that. I start noticing it starts looking like an endless void. Yeah, and again, I'll never forget it because I've never been this terrified in my life. Till this day, never. And I remember as I'm looking at it, I start noticing it looks like a figure. It looks like a cloak.
Okay.
It looked like a cloak, and I couldn't see it. Almost looked like, I mean, the best way to describe it, without being silly, it kind of reminded me of like a reaper.
Okay.
And I remember looking at it and just feeling my whole body sweating. And then I remember, I'm not even kidding, I saw it looked like a shape stick its hand like this and go like this to me.
Oh,
And in
God.
that instant, I felt like a rat ran down my back. My spine cracked from the top of my spine all the way to my tailbone.
Oh, God.
And I remember trying to speak, and trying to get my mom's attention, and
You just couldn't.
yeah, I was like, and you know, by the grace of God, that was nothing, and I don't know what that was, but you know, I try to stay right with God. I try to honor God. I try to do my best to be a Christian, go to church Sundays, try to live right. The Bible says we don't, you know, you have to walk in faith, you have to live in faith. You know, so you know, I'm saved by Jesus Christ's blood. I'm protected by that, so I do my best to honor God the best I can.
Amen.
So, and I try to live right. I try to be blameless. I try not to, you know what I mean? Because I mean, that's real stuff, man. Like I love the horror stuff, but when it comes to that stuff is like, it's real, you know, and it's creepy, man.
I feel you. So that actually brings up something. I didn't even have this on my notes, but now that you mentioned this, if you don't mind, as a Christian, being into like this horror stuff and being into like a big fan of Halloween, do you feel like there's either, as far as you go to church, your church community kind of like judges you for that? Because how everyone thinks of Halloween as a pagan religion like day, you know what I mean, as a pagan day, when there's really so much more to it, you know, than just that. Yeah, back in the day, these motherfuckers were doing this shit, but now in 2018, we're doing other stuff that has no relations to it. It just so happens to be on the same day.
Right.
Do you feel that there's like some sort of like justifying being a Christian, but yet being such a big fan of Halloween? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna
As
bust
much
up my
as you
phone
are.
because I have a verse actually that explains this really
You
easily.
do?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also have some fun facts about
There's a
holidays.
little verse right here.
A little
Okay.
verse.
Nice. This is like the first time we're getting religious.
I didn't know this was
on
gonna
talk.
happen. I
didn't know either.
I
you
wasn't
know,
planning on it either.
I didn't think of you as a not to be offensive. I didn't think of you as like a religious person, you know. So, because most of the religious people I know, they're not fans of Halloween. So it's like, you know, it's crazy.
Give me a second.
Like I'm just like you. I try to get like, you know, involved in church and stuff like that. You know, I do it on my own stuff, but I just don't trust like gatherings. You know what I mean? I don't trust
Yeah.
like churches because majority of them are just like, you know, someone's trying to make money off of this. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's
Give me a second.
Yeah, no problem.
I
Take your
can't
time.
find it. I lost it.
Ooh, right when you need it. You know what I mean? Watch when you're like at home and you're just going through Instagram, you're gonna find it and shit like that.
I'm gonna find it right now.
I know,
Here it
right?
is. So it's Romans 14, chapter 14, verse 23.
Nice.
Let me pull it up completely. Yeah, you know, as for church, dude, like here's the thing: you'll find hypocrites everywhere, and you'll find people that are shady everywhere. I think really what it comes down to it is you got to make sure that the doctrine's sound, it's following the Bible, and like I mean honestly, like I like to look at their statement of faith. Like I'm not trying to endorse anybody here, I'm not, but I like going to Calvary chapels because their teaching is sound. I
Yeah.
mean that's not to say you can't go to a Calvary chapel where the pastor is a total phony, because I went to people that were. But I mean, I think in the end, like you check them out and their heart's about Jesus. And when you put it about Jesus, you're in the right track. So that being said, like I'm a big believer in whatever you can't do faithfully is a sin. And let me make it clear, like you know, you shouldn't be getting drunk every night. You shouldn't be going sleeping with hookers. I mean, things that are obvious. Like, you know, if you look at the Bible, it tells you what's right, what's wrong. But then there's those gray areas. Like, should I watch a horror movie? Is it wrong to watch an action movie? You know what I mean? Or is it wrong to celebrate Halloween? Well, here's the verse. It says, "But whoever has doubts is condemned if they eat, because their eating is not from faith, and everything that does not come from faith is from sin." So let me lay the groundwork. So obviously the Bible has the 10 Commandments. The Bible says who will and will not inherit the kingdom of God. The Bible says to correct our evil ways. Paul even talks about how we fight against our flesh that constantly wants to sin, but we have to fight against our sin. Even though that's our nature, we have to make it a point to go against that and honor God. So we can't just continue in sin. It's like, what did Thomas Wayne say from Batman? Why do we fall? To pick ourselves back up. You know, as a Christian, you're constantly falling. It's like there's a bunch of holes in the ground. I'm falling on my knees left and right. But I don't sit there and just be like, well, I'm just going to go bang some hookers. You mean it doesn't work that way. I have to honor God. I have to seek out God daily. I have to seek out God to glorify Him. So what that's basically saying is, for instance, maybe, like, you know, I don't know if you know, or maybe you do. I'm just going to assume you do. Back in that era, eating meat was considered bad. Because eating meat was considered filthy, like pigs or swine. Pigs are filthy. What are oysters? They're eating literally the crap in the ocean. Fish are eating the crap in the ocean. So it was considered uncleanly to eat meat. You know, but then it talks about how, I think it was Paul that suddenly, basically, like, God sent a vision in the sky, basically showed like a giant table with like tablecloth and showed food being laid out in front of him. And he's like, I don't understand. He showed it again. I think he showed it 3 times, you know, to imply that food's okay. You know, everything's clean for God. So it kind of refers to that in the sense that if you don't feel comfortable eating meat, then, and you can't do it because you feel like it makes you question your faith, then don't do it. And if I make you feel like I'm questioning your faith by eating meat, then I won't do it around you.
Yeah.
So when it comes to horror movies, I just see it as mindless entertainment. I mean, I'm not going to watch like a porno. Like I have a problem with the Friday 13th. Sometimes it gets borderline pornography, and I'm not into that. Like, I mean, I'm married. I don't need to lust after women, you know? But I like the movies because they're fun, and they're fun. And as for the holiday, I mean, like, have you heard of Saturnalia?
No.
Okay, so the Roman Catholic Church reconditioned or repackaged Saturnalia as Christmas. And what it was a pagan holiday as well, where basically people would go get drunk and sing carols naked, and they would do raping and murdering. It was almost like a purge holiday, basically. And it was back in that era. But the Roman Catholic Church wanted to rebrand it. So what they did is they changed Saturnalia to Christmas. And they say that it was around Christ's birth, which it's not. Like, Christ was born more in the spring, not
they say he was born like in October, like August.
Yeah,
or something
exactly.
Like that.
Yeah. And if you think about the caroling, they would carol drunk. You know what I mean? Giving
Drunk
gifts.
and naked.
Yeah. So you know, the way I see it, things get changed. Like, you know, tattoos, for instance. Like, if you look at the history of tattoos, I guess like monks would like tattoo spells on their body, or they would take the ashes of their dead and cut their bodies and put it in there as like a worship form of worship.
Yeah.
So tattoos don't mean what they meant. You know what I mean? So everyone's gonna have their issues, but I say that if you have those issues with those questions, then get away from those things. Don't those things stumble you. And I by no means mean to stumble anyone. If I do, I apologize. You know, I am who I am, and I'm secure with my faith, and I'm doing my best to honor God every day I can. And these things don't bother me because, you know, I don't feel like it's a sin to watch horror movies. You know what I mean? I don't think it's wrong, and I think it's one of those gray areas where I don't feel it's wrong. You know what I mean? But you know, someone might feel differently.
That's a good way of putting it. You know what I mean? Like, that's really good. You seem to be knowledgeable about the Bible.
And not passing judgment on
too.
anyone, okay? I'm just putting information out there. Take what you want out of it. No need to offend. Not trying to make you guys feel angry. I'm just, you know.
Cool. Honestly, I couldn't see any way of any offense in that.
Someone always gets offended.
That's true, you know, nowadays.
Black's my favorite color. What, you don't like white? Racist?
Exactly, right? But anyways, that is really fucking interesting, dude. So now that you mentioned tattoos, let's talk about yours. I know you showed me your Freddy Krueger tattoo right here at Spook Show, and I'm noticing a lot of cats on there. Like, I know you have a cat. You showed it to me on one of your lives.
I have 5 cats.
You have 5 cats.
I just got my 5th one a couple days ago.
You just got your 5th.
He's awesome, dude. It's so cool.
So 5 cats. How is the place smelling?
Like cats and dog.
Good. There we go. It's cool, man.
5 cats, 1 dog.
I used to have a cat, and like I just thought I was lazy. Like, you know, I didn't want to clean out the litter box that much, you know what I mean? So my room stank. You know what I mean? Hair is everywhere. Fucking place stank. And it's like, yeah, it was horrible. But I can't imagine 5. That's crazy.
I have to lint roll my black clothes like all the time.
I bet. How many? Okay, like you're wearing all black today. How many lint roll tapes did it go through?
Nothing, actually. I keep it in the closet. I keep the cats out of the bedroom, so I'm okay. Like, I have to hide my clothes. Like, all I have is black, so I have to hide everything.
I bet, yeah.
But I did get a black cat, so I'm okay now.
Okay, that's good. Is that the 5th one?
Yeah, his name is Sirius. He's funny.
Sirius?
Like Sirius Black from Harry Potter.
Oh my God.
I am such a Potterhead. I have the hollows on my foot. I don't know if you can see it.
I saw that
I don't have a
earlier.
shoe. And I have Dark Mark. So, yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Out of all these tattoos you have right here, which one's the worst? Pain.
The worst pain? Oh, gosh.
Because they all hurt, but one of them's always like the most pain in the ass.
This one here is the worst.
That Freddy Krueger right there?
Oh my gosh. I did it in 2 sessions. I think it was like 3 hours each.
Really?
I waited a year and a half to get the second session done because it hurt too much.
Dude.
I'm like, tattoos are fun until I did that.
Yeah. That's how I am about this, because I have one in my armpit
Oh,
too.
that's right.
The Midsummer Scream Cat.
Sick.
Yeah.
Dang, let me see that.
It's just like, hold on.
Dude.
Yeah.
That is nice, dude. That is
Thank
super
you.
nice. I love
One session. One session for about 3 to 4 hours.
Oh, jeez.
I shed like a few tears, and my homie who does all my tattoo works, he was like, "You good, man?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, it just really fucking hurts." He's like, "I got you," and he sprayed the shit on.
Oh, I love that
arm.
stuff. I got that on here.
I don't know.
Thank you, Myra.
I don't know what that shit's called, but like he sprayed it and it burned for a little bit, but then after that I was like, it was like numb, and I was like, it still hurt, but not as bad. You know what I mean? So it was really good.
You know, actually,
yeah.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Myra, Shallow Grave Social Club, Merino Valley. She sprayed that magic stuff on me when she was doing the color. Amazing.
Okay.
Super cool person. And also Dan Torres. He's out in Snohomish, Washington. Incredible tattoo artist. Check them out.
There we go. Yeah.
I have to shout people that deserve
hey,
it. They're
dude.
awesome people. Yeah.
I feel you, man. I'm trying to get my tattoo artist on here on this show because he does like a lot of good gothic work.
Oh, nice.
Like a lot of the stuff that's on my lady's arm and the one he's doing right now on this arm. I'm not gonna take it out because it's still kind of healing, but it's like really gothic looking.
I think I saw some of it. You posted something of it, didn't you?
I posted like a little, like the first post I did the day of the tattoo. You can kind of see a little bit of it. And like every now and then on a video, you'll kind of see it like peeking out, but I'm not going to show it until it's fully done.
Right, I totally understand.
Especially when it's healing too, because I'm like, that's like my biggest fear is that like, all right, get a tattoo and it just gets really infected for some odd reason, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm paranoid, dude.
So it's like, yeah, I just try to keep it bundled up as much as I can. But yeah, no, I'm trying to get him on here too, but no, let me know about like their Instagrams and we'll put them on
When I
here.
share it on my page too, I'll be tagging them and letting them know they're in the video.
Okay.
Oh, I do want to share one last thing. My wife did this one. Not sure if you can catch it. It was a
She
stick
did a
and poke.
tattoo?
Yeah, stick and poke with India ink. It's almost
Stick
2
and
years
poke.
old.
Oh my god.
And it's a cat, and it happens to look like one of my cats walking.
Dude, that's
it-
awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude. It's one of my favorites just because it was such an experience.
Okay, like how much fun and how like painful was the stick and poke? Because me and my lady have been thinking about doing that to each other.
It's wild because
Yeah.
at first you're like, ow, ow. It's almost like, have you ever cut yourself shaving?
Yes.
Imagine doing that like thousands of times.
Oh shit.
So you're
okay.
like, oh, and before you know it, like the adrenaline kicks in, you're sweating, so you're like, bring it.
Yeah, I
You
know,
know?
right? You're just like, eh.
That's where it got. I mean, it hurt at first because it's like being stabbed with like a ballpoint pencil.
Yeah.
But it's fun, dude, because there's something really like, it's a real experience, you know? Like it's almost like in a weird way, like it almost connects you with that person because you're
Aw.
relying on them to do this ink on you, and you're trusting that they're not going to stab too deep. They're going to do it consistently. They're going to do a good job. It's one of those things. It's really like,
Hey.
it's really interesting. It's almost like there's something almost ceremonious about it.
That's cool. So
So
basically,
you and your lady do it, you'll get
Yeah.
like this unique experience. Like almost like I'd recommend just doing it with someone you really love because it almost would seem weird with anyone else.
I know, right?
Because
all
it's like, yeah,
you just meet some guy at a party or some person at a party and you're like, hey, do you want to like stab me for like 2 hours with some ink?
basically ink works.
If
It's
you want to
non-toxic.
tell if you're with the right person, just let them stab you for like a good like 2-3 hours.
I know,
you
God bless her. She hurt her back doing it. She was just like sitting like this, going.
Yeah.
I want to get a coffin on my other foot.
Hell yeah.
Stick and poke.
Stick and poke coffin?
Oh yeah.
Dude, I might do something with stick and poke. Probably do something stupid. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm fat, but I want to get a donut on me. Like I want like a donut. I was thinking as a knee tattoo.
That'd be wild,
like
dude.
like the ones that Homer Simpson.
Yeah,
always
that's what I
eats.
was thinking, dude. Like
Just,
that
like,
perfect
right
pink
there.
donut with the sprinkles.
Bright ass pink. So if I'm wearing shorts one day, that shit is sticking out. And like, dude, you got a donut on you? It's like, yep. Sorry if you hear the cars rolling by.
I'm just amazed they're not like staring. They
I
don't
know,
even notice
right?
half the time.
But anyways, this is all we got for today. Thank you so much, Mr. Deathbreath. Let these people know where they can find you.
Guys, find me on Instagram, Mr. Deathbreath. Also YouTube, Mr. Deathbreath. Guys, check out my newest review, Unfriended 2 Dark Web. It's spoiler free, so that means if you haven't seen the movie, you can still watch it, guys. Thanks a lot, man, for having me. I
Thank
appreciate
you,
it. It's
dude.
been fun.
It's been really fun. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one. Later.